Everyone, they say Korean men aren't choosing not to marry, they can't marry. Why is that? The word marriage carries an increasingly heavy burden. A relentless life, skyrocketing housing prices, the trend of hypergamy, unrealistic romance, fueled by Korean dramas and the rise of women's empowerment. These factors intertwine to block Korean men from marriage. Today, we're diving into this complex reality, exploring why Korea's birth rate has plummeted to 0.7. This isn't just about numbers or stats, it's the real stories unfolding around us every day. Ready? Let's jump in. First, life in Korea is brutally competitive, right? You all feel it. Office workers leave home at 7 a.m. and don't return until 10 or 11 p.m. Even on weekends, they're checking work, emails, or trembling at a sudden call from the boss. My friend Minho, in his early 30s, is a deputy manager at a mid-sized company. He works 12-hour days and collapses on the couch when he gets home, utterly exhausted. One day, he confided in me, "Marriage? I don't even have time to date. Just surviving at work is overwhelming enough." Minho says his only joy is sipping a beer while watching YouTube after work. Dating? Forget it. There's barely time to take care of himself. This is the reality for Korean men. Don't you know someone like Minho? Even if you dream of marriage amidst this relentless life, another wall awaits housing prices. In Seoul, the average apartment costs over 1 billion won. 1 billion? Is that money you can just save up overnight? For an average worker, saving for a house takes 20-30 years. My cousin, 35, still isn't married. When I asked why, he said, "My girlfriend told me we can't marry unless I have at least a 30-pyong apartment in Seoul." He works overtime every day to save, but house prices rise faster than his savings. Once he gave me a bitter smile and said, "With what I've saved, I can't even buy a studio in Gangnam. I can't ask my parents for help at this age. Marriage without a house in Seoul, it's like wishing to win the lottery." Housing isn't the only issue. Ever heard of hypergamy? Among Korean women, especially younger ones, there's a strong tendency to seek men with better conditions. A good job, stable income, home ownership, even height or looks. If one condition falls short, marriage feels further away. Let me tell you about a blind date my friend went on. He's 32, a diligent guy working as a deputy manager at a small company. The date went well, good conversation, great vibe, lots of laughs. But at the end, the woman asked, "Do you own a house? Can you buy an apartment in Seoul without your parents' help?" He answered honestly, "Not yet. I'm saving up." That was the last he heard from her. He laughed it off when he told me, but his eyes were full of disappointment. What am I lacking? Just a house, that's it. We can't blame women for wanting hypergamy. Everyone wants a better life. But this trend undeniably makes marriage harder. Then there's the influence of Korean dramas. What are the male leads like? Handsome, rich, romantic, often second-generation chaebols. Think Do Min-jun from My Love from the Star, Yoo Si-jin from Descendants of the Sun, or Ri Jong-hyuk from Crash Landing on You. Where do you find these perfect men in real life? Dramas plant unrealistic romantic expectations. A friend in her late 20s once told me she got upset with her boyfriend. "Why don't you love me like Do Min-jun?" Later, she realized she was caught up in drama fantasies. These illusions raise the bar for marriage and widen the gap with reality. Once my friends and I were joking about wanting a drama-like chaebol boyfriend, but we all ended up sighing. Reality's a mess, but dramas make you expect too much. And women's empowerment, this is a huge shift. Korean women no longer feel bound to patriarchal marriages. They're financially independent, building careers, living the lives they want. That's amazing. A colleague, a 34-year-old woman, told me, "Why get married? Do housework and raise kids when I can travel and eat good food on my own? That's happier." It hit me, marriage isn't a prerequisite for happiness anymore. As women gain more freedom to choose their paths, they feel less need to marry. But this raises the bar for men. I overheard some female co-workers talking about marriage once. One said, marriage would just make my life harder. I'd rather live freely alone. Everyone nodded. While women's expanded choices are great, they make marriage feel like a distant goal for men. All these factors pile up, and Korea's birth rate has crashed too. 0.7, the lowest in the world. I saw a news report that shocked me. The marriage rate for men in their 30s has dropped by half compared to 20 years ago. Among my friends, I can count the married ones on one hand. One friend said, marriage, that's for people with money, time, and emotional bandwidth. Regular guys like me can't even dream of it. Doesn't that hit home? Another friend, 32, has been on over 20 blind dates. He gets rejected for not meeting conditions. Or if he likes someone, they're not interested. He gave up on marriage. I don't know what more I need to do. I'll just live alone. Hearing that, I couldn't help but think our society's structure makes marriage nearly impossible. In this harsh reality, men dreaming of marriage are growing more frustrated. My brother's friend, 33, works at a big company, 5 years in. He says even getting a blind date is tough. On one date, the woman asked about his job, salary, and home ownership back to back. He answered honestly, but was told, your conditions don't quite match. After that, he deleted his dating apps and decided to enjoy solo dining at nice restaurants. Do I need to be a chaebol to marry? He laughed, but the bitterness was clear. So, how do we fix this? Lowering housing prices isn't a quick fix. The government's trying more housing, easier loans, but reality's still tough. Hypergamy and drama-fueled expectations won't change overnight, but maybe we can shift our mindset a little. Marriage isn't a badge of success. It's a journey two people take to build happiness together. Isn't it more about love and trust than money or conditions? A married senior once told me, no house, a bit short on money, but if you love each other, you can make it work. Problem is, few people believe that anymore. That stuck with me. Take a moment to think. Is marriage a must? Or can we find happiness alone or in other ways? In Korea's relentless society, how do we love and find joy? One friend said, I gave up on marriage, but I want to live doing what I love. That's my happiness. Hearing that, I wondered if happiness lies not in marriage, but in the small choices we make daily. What race are you running right now? If you dream of marriage, what kind do you want? Or are you picturing a happy life without it? The answer might be something each of us has to find. In this fierce life, I hope you find your own small piece of happiness, whether it's through marriage, solo time, or whatever form it takes.